Hey, welcome back to another Black City Coffee vlog. In this video, I want to talk about flavored coffee versus specialty coffee and all of the flavors that can be presented there. Two very different things. This is for Jim, or I want to read that little comment now, which is coffee bean roasting BS? Get any bean, roast, add a drop of flavor, smile, and charge $3.25. You don't need to be mad at flavored coffee. Flavored coffee is there for a reason. There's a market for it, even though it kind of irks you as somebody who knows about high quality coffee. And this would totally irk me too in the past, but I'm here to let you know that it's okay. People will like what they like. And I love the phrase that I learned a couple years ago, which is don't yuck somebody's yum. Because you wouldn't want somebody to do that to you too. It's like, well, I like that stuff. I like how that tastes. Flavored coffee is basically, let's break it down what the difference is first and foremost, which is they'll take roasted coffee, could be any quality. If you're an economical business, you'd probably choose the cheapest quality coffee that you could get away with, and then add a flavor oil specific for coffee, roasted coffee, and then flavor it that way. They probably put a few drops, they put it through maybe like a spinner or something like that. This is all assumption, but I know that they use oils to do it. And I was kind of into it. Like before, when I got into specialty coffee, I was going to Trader Joe's. And before that, it was like any random grocery store and getting Folgers. There's a natural evolution that kind of happens as you are educated and as your tastes change, which we'll talk about, the evolution of taste in an individual. But I would go to Trader Joe's and I would get the whiskey aged flavored barrel whatever, and it was whole bean coffee, so there was that. But right when you open it, you get this really amazing aroma of just this very sweet kind of like vanilla kind of thing that you would imagine like a whiskey aged barrel smelling like. And for me at that time, because I didn't know anything beyond what specialty coffee was, how coffee was actually harvested, how the flavors of blueberries and raspberries and chocolate are actually extracted from some specialty coffee, and depending upon their origin and all that stuff, and how it's roasted. I just didn't know any of that. And that just tickled my fancy. Go, ooh, cool, a new flavor. And I want to make this parallel too. It's like, it's an artificial flavoring, and humans like that stuff. You eat junk food, right? I'm sure you've gone to maybe, I don't know, like Baskin Robbins and picked some crazy ice cream flavored, pecan flavored, whatever. They're using, for the most part, if we've ever had any processed foods, fast foods, they're using artificial flavorings to flavor that stuff. And we humans, we like that. It just hits some part in our brain for most of us anyway, for not being, very health conscious. And we're just like, does it taste good? Yes or no? Most of the time, yes, it does taste good, despite on how maybe bad for us it is, or artificial it is, or whatever, right? So kind of think of it like that when you see a local roaster of yours, Jim, that is offering a bunch of flavors, and charging a premium for it. I'm guessing you think, $3.25 is expensive for maybe a cup of flavored coffee, which, yeah, that is to me too. But for whatever reason, there's a market for it. Just like there's a market for super dark French roast, Vienna roast coffees that I will never really partake in. At least not for the next, I think, couple of years, unless there's some extraneous circumstance, but there's definitely a market for that, and there's a product for those people. So, it's just another corner of the market that person or that business or that roaster is choosing to serve. Like, even the decision for me to decide to serve ground coffee, it's like, I really would love it if people would grind their own coffee, but I got a request the other day to grind coffee, and I'm like, just once. I'll just do it once, right? Just because they're kind of like a friend or something. And but that's a side of the market that I could actually serve if I chose to, even though I don't really agree with it. So that's kind of how you can look at, coffee flavorings, and, you personally don't have to drink it or partake in it, just don't support them with your dollar. Don't have to think anything of it, and just go and find the roasters or the cafes that you want to support with your dollar and that you think taste good. Your second question was recommendation on beans. I mean, I don't know. I don't know your tastes. You said earlier in your comment you like Dunkin' Donuts and a medium roast. I don't really like a medium roast. I think I fall into the maybe light roast, light plus roast. And that's even subjective to what do you call medium, unless you and I have an actrometer that can measure color and all this sort of thing. So even the idea of labeling light, medium, and dark can become subjective and cause for debate, a live discussion, not in a bad way, totally in a fun way. But if you like Dunkin', hey, there's always Dunkin'. Dunkin' sells their beans, their whole beans, and little bags and everything, and they're relatively very, very affordable. They have their cafes and stuff like that. And in terms of roasting, maybe that's something that you could serve for yourself. Like I started to do the same thing. I rarely go and buy coffee on the outside because I feel like I know what I like, and I can roast certain coffees to that. If I'm, on my game, I can roast those coffees to my preference and drink my own roasts. But in terms of sourcing green, that's a longer sort of answer. And I have other videos about sourcing green, which I think I can link in the description below, or you can check out more videos on the playlist. But thanks for that question, and I hope that it helps. So good things. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to all of you guys. I really appreciate you this year. I hope you've been enjoying the daily content that's been coming out, and we will see you tomorrow. All right, bye.